Played this map like 6, 7, 8 times. That's a lot of reps. ECSTATIC playing some maps like 15 plus times on like 4 or 5 different maps in the last 3 months. They just play so much Counter-Strike, Bartolf.
Indeed they do. So then, our first map of the day, our first best of one of the day, will take place on Nuke. I see hallzerk's got a kangaroo on his desk, but where's the koala? That's what I want to know. They'll start on the CT side then. Grim will have some jewelries, as will hallzerk. 5 pistols on the CT side then. As ECSTATIC start to move through. Salazar made the raid boss with the P250 and the Kevlar. JT will spot many heading towards Secret despite the flash. But there's one lurker in Max who's waiting for a rotation, maybe waiting for some sound cues. Fang sees many coming his way, falling back to work with his teammates now as they focus on double doors. But here they come. ECSTATIC making their way through, but Floppy will try and do what he can. Got some more to do now as the bomb carries in front of him, but only Grim and JT remain. 3v2 for ECSTATIC, made one as Grim comes through on the ramp. 1v3 as the bomb is planted for ECSTATIC. So far, so good for the T side. More work for them to do, though.
They're going for a wrap in through windows, so trying to set up a bit of a triangle crossfire with Decon. And for someone like Grim in this situation, pretty low percentage. Don't hate the decision to hold on to, you know, Flash, Kevlar, a bit of dualies, playing the long game. Pretty low percentage pistol, especially the fact that he doesn't have a kit. It's going to be pretty hard to get in there and find all of those players just tucked away in windows and decon and whatnot. So it's a good start for ECSTATIC here. I mean, you know, just kept it simple. One smoke pretty deep in towards the outside yard, flash over the top, and you can tell they're playing with confidence and they're kind of rolling with the punch-ins already. Just pretty up-tempo kind of play to kick off their T side, and that's always a really good feeling, especially Nuke T side. You get that pistol, can kind of settle things a little bit and get you off onto the right foot. So we'll keep an eye on complexity here. We'll see if they're going to force second round and try and shift up that momentum a bit that ECSTATIC's already starting to build.
Both Grim and Salazar will escape with perfect armor, so they get that cheap helmet for 350 if they want it.
True, true. Sometimes you know, you get someone who grabs himself a couple of kills, and this is exactly what I was going to say. Grabs himself a couple of kills, or could get a raid boss Famus, or could get even a A1S with how cheap that is nowadays. Quick outside smokes here for ECSTATIC. They're just going to make their way across the secret, leave kraghen in the backside of lobby. Just the classic kind of 1-4 to try to minimize the risk in the anti-eco here. Just taking their time, moving through in towards secret, and Floppy's going to be here to receive.
Always nice to have that latecomer as well, in case the CTs try to flank through the smoke. Floppy will have control of control, but not much else going his way. Oh dear, made a few steps there as well. Position will be compromised, but he is moving elsewhere. hallzerk here to hold some angles as well. If he can maim some of these plays and stay alive, then maybe there's a chance he'll do better than that with the opening frag. Straight in the dome of Nodios. Crown's keeping the CTs honest elsewhere. 4 on 4 then, as Queenix starts to make his way over, but Grim has got a great position for 2 with the FAMAS. Complexity have got a good opportunity now. Max doesn't really have the range even to fight this main position. Less than ideal with the Mac 10, starts to make his way closer now as Fang will hold position with the Desert Eagle. Oh. Straight in the face from Fang as well, and Crown is left in a 1v3. He's got much work to do here with the Galil. You can see Fang making some steps, but that bomb defusal is coming through, and it's Floppy going for that 10-second diffuser. Swing comes in, but they haven't planted for this side. Comes off it, and they'll work together to get that kill, and they'll get the round as well. The force buy has worked for Complexity.
Yeah, really nicely done. I mean, you could see the ECSTATIC boys just wanted to go for those outside smokes and take secret control, you know, use the mollies to take further control down in towards lower and minimize the risk. And with that player backside of lobby who caught JT, they felt like they could wrap up vent in towards upper, and after the initial play towards outside, they would have pulled enough rotations across from the CTs, but this is just where the individuals for Complexity made all the difference. Great shot from hallzerk to open it up, and then Grim doubles up on that Famus. That was the main player with the majority of the firepower. So like I said, I mean, already a massive momentum shift in from Complexity here, and they're going to force ECSTATIC on the Tech 9 bite, who are going to go for a quick one into uppers here, Bartolf.
Indeed, the HE straight into main will do some good damage, but what is the follow-up? We've got some chain flashes, it looks like, from the likes of Salazar as Crown swings through. JT looking towards the hut now, but who gets the first opening? Crown won't get anything from that. JT will start to deliver, but the rest seem to have made their way downstairs, and Floppy will hold angles, but he's only good for 1 with the M4. That could be a nice pickup for ECSTATIC if they can make it that far. First, though, they've got to prioritize that plant. 3 remain versus the 4 of Complexity, who come together through the ramp. hallzerk sees the rifle hasn't been collected just yet. That is fantastic for them. Manx will still be dangerous, though, from very awkward angles. Tech9 players can put in work elsewhere, try to run distraction for him, give him the information, allow him to swing. Hole made through the door, so Queenix can have a look and see where these CTs are. And there's Max delivering now. That clock is ticking as well. Only hallzerk has a kit, so bear in mind his position. Manx now trying to be a nuisance and succeeding with the Max 10. Still 3 HP. He's on the bomb hallzerk. Can he get there? He can't. And there will be a defuse just in time. 2-1 Complexity.
Yeah, really nicely controlled from them. I'm surprised. I mean, I am surprised that they grouped up ramp, even with the numbers advantage. Sometimes I feel like that could be a bit sketchy. You're running in through Megaton when one of the sides is smoked off, and you know it's a close quarters angle against Tech9s or Mac 10s. But Complexity able to just control things with the spacing well enough to secure that round. With the plant though, and it all only coming down to 2 CTs alive, you're really wondering whether they're considering the force here, ECSTATIC, and they're going to take a timeout to have a think about it. This could be one of those interesting buys where you have some of the boys drop over AKs and swap for some deagles and maybe try to put 3 rifles together. And with how fragile Complexity's economy is on the CT side this early in the game, it's one of those risk-reward plays that you really do consider.
That second round rotation up top was so awkward for ECSTATIC. I think it was Queenix who was flying out the vent first, who has to take the crosshairs away and just absorb the bullets.
See less people use that jump throw flash like off the vent nowadays. I mean, you're obviously you know in the moment running up and down the vent pretty quickly, and you've already seen a lot of vent usage this early on for ECSTATIC. So I'm interested to see if later on in the half, especially once they start to put together some more solid buys than what you've been seeing this early on the T side, whether they're going to start using a little bit more ramp room control and start to link up with the secret players. Again here, quick wall of smokes on outside, just leaving Crown in the lobby there on the lurk, and the rest of the boys going straight down lower. Same rotation from Floppy over to Windows to try to keep this one in check and control things, but he's actually not going to rotate into Windows, just straight into the lower side, and just going to allow the T's to have free reign all on the back of Decon and Vent side.
That smoke will help with the rotation should it be required, but I do wonder what ECSTATIC might have in mind here. Slowly clearing positions. Floppy will have some action towards the B-bomb site. 1 for 1 they go. That's great for ECSTATIC. Looks like the bomb plant will come fast as well. hallzerk has to be careful because Crown is on the way. Not sure if they saw an elbow there. Certainly seen him now. Org is out for hallzerk, and almost everybody's been dropped already for ECSTATIC. A question of damage now for Queenix, as he's maybe got another kill to get. Not on this occasion, though, as Fang will get the best of him. 3 survive for Complexity as they go 3-1.
And that's where they really stabilize the game. Although the loss bonus building up a little bit for ECSTATIC, I don't think I mean, it's up to them, I guess, with how comfortable they are on something like a Galil Force, but with 3 CTs surviving, the reset potential is getting less and less all the time, so feels like Complexity stabilizing the game a little bit more. You got a little bit nervous for them when 2 of the Mac 10 players found kills. You had a momentary man advantage for the T side, but Complexity turned that around so quickly. And that's where you see the individual brilliance on some of these riflers shine a little bit, able to multi-frag with ease. And now Complexity stabilizing their position a little bit more. We'll have a chance at an anti-eco here. Just need to keep guns up so they can start to get rolling on this CT side a bit more.
Potential promise there, but hallzerk be a thorn in the side of ECSTATIC early. Love to see an org on the server.
See Complexity quite happy to just sit all the way back, Fang backside of warehouse, very low risk. Just using the util to cut down the angles, nice and easy. If they can just survive with 3 or 4 guns up in this round, they're going to be quite happy with how it's gone.
M4A4 Enjoyer, JT. Be stopping anything from happening here for ECSTATIC, who are obviously trying to do some economical damage to Complexity, but they will not be able to do so. Everybody stands at the end of the round for Complexity, 4-1.
That's going to put a little bit more pressure on ECSTATIC now, because not doing any damage in a round like that means that you're in this position where you have to start converting multiple gun rounds back to back. At least they've got the loss bonus behind them, Bardolph, you know. So all these bomb plants allow them to put together easier and easier buys on this T side, and they can keep trying to crack in. Probably be more of a case of just doing it over time, keeping some of these rounds close, which means they need to start getting on the board. Salazar's going to grab the AWP out, so that might change things up a little bit. quite catch Fang, I think it was. Yeah, slipping into secret there. So we'll see how much they're going to be aware of a position like this. The util's a little limited already on ECSTATIC. You haven't seen any like outside wall of smokes or anything early on in the round, but they still don't really have that much to work with. 3 smokes. So if they're going to commit to outside wall of smokes, although they might have dropped them on outside so that Nodios can throw the wall of smokes by himself or something like that, then they won't have any for later on in the round. But it seems like ECSTATIC going to have a bit more of a contacty kind of approach to this round. Try to look for a pick in towards ramp room.
Hallzerk be creeping. Oh, great peek from Floppy. Doesn't overstay his welcome either. Luxury of not just holding the angle, but popping up back and forth every now and then. ECSTATIC still chasing. Floppy may call for rotation now. Where has he gone though? They haven't heard a door squeak. He finds the second one. That's the bomb as well. Found a third. Looking for the fourth. Floppy deleting everybody on the ramp, and there'll be no frags whatsoever for ECSTATIC. That is a great solo ramp hold from Floppy.
And that's a nightmare scenario for ECSTATIC. Complexity economy now on the CT side is absolutely rock solid, and especially it's going to get a little demoralizing at this point. They did no damage with the pistols, then they try to go for a bit more of a dry contact kind of ramp, and you just get multi-frag by one player. You're going to be feeling a little bit sheepish looking down the barrel of the next couple of rounds on this T side, and this is where they need to kind of get themselves pumped up as well, because this is where a team like this, who's got somewhat limited LAN experience in a tournament like this, they played a lot of online CS and EU, they might not have the skill set to kind of put the pieces back together on this T side. I guess we'll find out.
What? I did like no damage.
I mean, classic CSGO HEs, right?
Yeah, straight robbery, but they have made their way to the B-bomb site, maybe looking for revenge on Floppy, and perhaps they'll get an opportunity to try and find it. Door opportunity is open. Got a teammate on the ramp here, that is Fang. He'll be forced forward by the molly. Now he knows there's one more to catch. That's the bomb carrier as well. Denying a bomb plant would have been great. Maybe he won't get a chance to do that though. Minute 10, and ECSTATIC will maybe try and go for a round win. 2 versus 3. A lot more on the table than a bomb plant, even now for Queenix. Will the sound cues be heard though? Has he made one too many steps? JT by Squeaky, and indeed, AB's position was conceded. 6-1, it's a big start for Complexity on the CT side of Nuke.
100%. This is where we'll keep an eye on ECSTATIC and see what they want to be going for. Had a lot of kind of up-tempo play, a lot of vent usage in the first couple of rounds. They tried to slow things down, go for the dry ramp contact with the ult purchase. And not a whole lot has been working for them. So be interested to see how they're going to sequence things in a round like this. Maybe like outside wall of smoke like they were doing earlier into like an uppers timing or something might go all right. Seems like they're just going to take things relatively standard. Wall of smoke's invested in outside.
Whoa, look at that drive-by from Nodios. Fang's got big issues. He can't really go and chase that frag because who knows what else is outside. That's a strong position for ECSTATIC, but will they get anything from it? The round might slow down now as the threat of Nodios behind enemy lines might be a problem.
They're going to play for the lobby contact. This is such a weird position, right? You've already got Nodios all the way through outside. You've got multiple Ts in lower. This is where Complexity just need to make sure they know what's clean and dirty and try to make the right decisions in a round like this, but it's almost impossible.
They'll have to make their way towards the ramp then. Kraghen in that anti-eco position will surely start creeping soon. A long shift walk for Complexity as things start to speed up towards that ramp. Floppy engaging his turn on the org. Is that flank going to come from the T side? Kraghen makes his way towards the vents instead. Fang is dropped. JT and Grim remain. Oh dear. Into the hands of Hallzerk they go then. His first 2 frags in this game of Nuke. Joins the scoreboard, and JT will do some damage as he leaves, but it will be a second round finally for ECSTATIC.
That's what I was kind of wondering, like what were they going to do to change things up, and it was actually the quick one straight off the top of Annex. The moves from Nodios, man, he just absolutely sent it, flew straight through outside with the flash timing and found that opener, and that completely sent Complexity for a loop.
Very, very nice. Not easy to get that timing around the corner as the flash goes off. Great coordination from the T side, but we saw they were capable. I think even after they lost to 4 spies, it had enough utility to offer some executes and some double pumps on the A bomb site, showing some depth here. Is this the start of a comeback then for them? Looks like they're going straight into the A-bomb site. Manx having a look, trying to find Grim behind that smoke. There are a lot of CTs here, actually, and they're going to get cut to pieces. Grim with 2 on the heart. That's an important second frag for him, leaving Salazar and Crown in a 2v3. There is time. It's not going to be easy for them. They cannot afford a trade frag now in this situation. Some clues for Crown as to where one of the 3 players is. There's another one, and that's the kind of trade that they couldn't afford. Salazar in a clutch now, 1v2. What's his scope heard? He needs to go and find that bomb. He's got a minute to do it. Have half the information, ECSTATIC, as to where these CTs are, but of course every second that information gets old. Grim being very, very active and scoped in will be a problem for Salazar. Of course, alarm scope. Walk into the hands of hallzerk, who's active as well. 7-2 for complexity.
You can see what ECSTATIC was trying to go for there. They've been throwing the outside wall of smokes and sometimes the progression smoke, front side of squeaky, and just doing different little iterations, trying different things. I thought they were going to go for the uppers timing in the gun round before that last one we just saw, but they went for the outside dive. And then this time they went for the uppers timing. After that just worked for them, maybe expecting complexity to shift something, maybe dedicate that extra player to outside or quick vent rotation or something like that. But complexity just shut that down pretty easily. And I think in the 3-on-2, and especially a lot of the XVXs in the mid round, that's where complexity has been a whole lot better. Especially in the early rounds, you saw a lot of that. Even if they're able to get the entry down onto lowers or they're able to get the entry into the site, complexity is spacing themselves really well and being super active on the map and just trading out way, way better.
Best of ones can be quite dicey. Not looking great for ECSTATIC at the moment. Just 2 rounds from their T side of Nuke. But there is still plenty more on the table, and they will have a buy in this round.
Got some extra cash as well, so more bomb plants and the loss bonus that they're working with means more and more buys. Could see Fang trying to be aware of the vent dive. And it feels like Complexity's already done their homework. They've been very aware of Crown on the lurk. Looks like it's going to be an uppers timing here for ECSTATIC on the contact.
A lot of Molotovs as well. 4 mollies to be deployed by ECSTATIC, so I think we're going to see a flame carpet on this bomb site. It's going to be hard for the CTs to stand. That's going to make it even harder for them. In the smoke, though, is Grim looking for 2. Close, but not quite. 4-on-3 for ECSTATIC now as Fang pops out, but there was the trade. Crown of the Mac 10 will be enough. Floppy's up top now, trying to buy some time with the flash. Crown needs to try and switch for a rifle here. Sooner rather than later. Might not get the chance, though. Full commit to the bomb plant, and Floppy's going to say hello. Here's that Mac 10. That'll give them some confidence now. Crown's got all the information. Surely trying to get into a better position. Didn't have the tool for the job. And Complexity will secure the retake.
Yeah, their fundamentals are winning them this game. The way that they're approaching every man advantage situation, every XVX situation in the mid round has really just been worth its weight in gold. And that's where you can see the chemistry of the team coming in. They're obviously prepping pretty hard for the major, putting in a lot of prac, making sure that they're nailing down all those small details. And right now that's doing them a whole lot of favors. You can see ECSTATIC, they've definitely got the reps, you know. They have all these different variations. That time an uppers execute on the timing with the mollies. They've shown us a lot of depth already on this T side, but just the issue is less so the overall approach in the early round, but just what's happening in the mid round. They're just not putting enough frags together to be able to lock down enough.
Complexity are placing themselves well around these smokes defensively, just disappearing, reappearing at the right time.
Looking like they're in really good form at the moment.
Very nice.
A little chip nade from Floppy on the lineup. This time they got hallzerk down in lowers, so Floppy's being a little bit more active towards the ramp room. ECSTATIC creeping through outside. Only a couple of smokes left. They're going to deploy an outside wall of smoke there. Close towards warehouse side. Molly exchanged by Fang just to try to gather some info about who's crossing in towards lowers. But it is going to be actually a walk into warehouse here for ECSTATIC.
Very nice lineup for hallzerk. He has some important information in, and that will make Fang wonder as he hears no one else going. He will deliver on the outside. Looking for a third one as well. Queenix will trade. 4v2 though. I think they've lost too many already. As I say that, Salazar drops, as does the bomb. And now Queenix is in the clutch. He needs a ace to try and find this round, but there are too many man on road. And Complexity secure another on their CT side.
I mean, we were having a little joke about just hitting your shots and being a little bit sharper, but that's what it feels like for Complexity at the moment. That multi-frag on outside from Fang on Warehouse is a perfect example of it. He's getting away with 2 frags there where the T's are very intentionally, that whole strat is designed to walk into Warehouse, have the extra player following up on credit card. You need to trade this kill, and it's pretty clear that ECSTATIC is just not feeling it in this best of 1, and that's not going to be good enough to get across the line against the team that's preparing for the major.
Plenty good coffee here in Melbourne. Hopefully they've had theirs, setting it straight into the A-bomb site now. Completely different change of pace. JT will be traded. Chances are here for ECSTATIC. They could still get 6 rounds from this half. Moving around in A as we see the CTs repositioning now. Again, the smokes are up, giving them some dirty angles. Fang forcing the issue here as Crown will trade. Trying to catch them off guard as they look for a bomb plant, perhaps. Floppy and hallzerk remaining. Minute 10 on the clock. Still some presence in heaven. hallzerk popping through once again. Crown on the reload there. Is anyone here to help him, though? They'll get there eventually, but hallzerk's found a 1v1. He's on the op. Can he find the angle? How did they lose that round?
Unreal. And that's been every round, really. Complexity just a little bit better in the mid-round. I've been saying it, feel like a broken record, but that's a perfect example of it. You were asking, who's the player to trade from Silo there? He's just 2-3 seconds too late. It was the same thing on outside Warehouse. ECSTATIC are not snappy enough on the trades on this T side right now.
You don't bet against Norge. Yes, another highlight for hallzerk. Very, very awkward. I mean, Complexity were trying to make that situation awkward for them when Fang pushed around that smoke. It's a big clutch from hallzerk at the end. And again, there were so many rounds possible for ECSTATIC. They didn't even get as far as the bomb plant there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's all the mid to late rounds. And this one, you know, I didn't even mind their approach, to be honest. They cut sound, and that's what prompted the push into heaven from Complexity. They had no information. There's so many angles to hold on CT side Nuke, so you got to go be proactive. Let that round go by the wayside, though, as Nodios sends it once again, this time straight into Secret, but he's lost a lot of HP on the way. He's found Fang, though, and this feels like this is the round ECSTATIC must convert. Man advantage, free pick on outside. They need rounds.
Yeah, they still have an opportunity to... If they can just break Complexity's money, then they could make something of this half. That certainly won't help them. Floppy's been the pain point on the ramp, and maybe that encourages them to head back there as Floppy tries to find position. hallzerk, they will tag at least. Queenix down to 16 HP, 3-on-3 as Grim will secure the B bomb site. Surely, there goes the bomb. And the information as well. Salazar has time, though. Looking to catch a CT on the rotation. And he might just do that. hallzerk on the pistol once again, looking for the flick, but hallzerk with a P250 is just as dangerous as with the AWP.
Once again, I mean, man advantage, and it all falls apart in the mid-round. They spot Floppy on outside, and that's what prompts them to make the quick mid-round rotation. They call the audible and head straight through ramp. But even Floppy, you can see he takes one with him. Even though they're trying to hit it on the timing, they know where the CTs have rotated to, but they're just not quite able to convert that. And especially Complexity in the mid-round there, they went for a 2-man contact towards Secret, which meant Grim had already got pole position down in towards windows, and there was another player in Secret, even if they got through him.
Tech9's then a very dangerous round still. Trying to play the numbers game, but maybe the AUG is the worst one to go through. Floppy doesn't scope, though. We'll do some good damage onto Nodios and Crown. Fang's already in position. Can he get 2 from this? Oh, the cavalry's already here. The horses are trampling on ECSTATIC. Nodios will be the last man standing. See how much damage he can do. Not enough as we head towards the last round of the first half. A dominating scoreline so far for Complexity.
Yeah, they've just run away with this half. They've never had to worry about their money. They've never had to worry about whether they're going to have to take an eco or anything like that, which just goes to show at the end of the day, you know, people focus a lot on frags in CS, but especially on the T side, if you're not putting enough kills together, you're not pressuring the CT economy. You're going to allow them to kind of sit back. They're going to have access to orbs, all of the utility. You're not going to have that reset potential. And that's where Complexity has just been way too comfortable for this whole game.
Hello.
There's another pick on outside. Nodios has not been doing too bad work. on outside, to be honest. But again, this is another man advantage that they must convert.
It's a good start. How will the mid round look for ECSTATIC? Poking towards main. Towards hut, rather. Low health player's going to go in first to take the bullets, but will their trade be there? Eventually, a laboured frag for kraghen, but one nonetheless, and the trades will continue. 3v2, advantage ECSTATIC. hallzerk still alive though, and that means an issue for ECSTATIC. Getting away from the A bomb site as those smokes go up once again. Those one-ways by complexity. But there might be a clash on the ramp here. Floppy's got the scope, but he hasn't got the frag. hallzerk now will see the information in the clutch once more. 1v3 once more. Can he do it again? 12 for 2, complexity and hallzerk, but it will be a third round at halftime for ECSTATIC. We're going to head to a break. When we're back, we'll see if they can lead with the pistol.
That same old feeling, don't know what's right or wrong, searching for meaning, I've been thinking about it way too long. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way, just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go, come on up and just let go. No more competing, bound to your inner voice, yeah. Things seem misleading, just until you stop and make your choice. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way, just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. Let it 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 go.
Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think
After a massive half by complexity, ECSTATIC are basically on crutches. If they can win this pistol round though, they might be off to the races on the CT side.
It's so hard to chase these scorelines on CT though, especially when you can't let your economy build up too much. You're always feeling like you're on the edge of reset potential. I feel like in this version of CS, with the way the economy is, you have to have the dream start to the game to put together a comeback. Doesn't matter what map it is.
Nodios will be made raid boss. Julie's on the CT side. Fang with that P250. Raid Boss on the other side, looking for those longer range engagements, but up close will be Queenix and Floppy. Good, promising start then for ECSTATIC, but there's still many complexity players to find. Kraghen may have seen the bomb there as he's got control of control. They have to give it up though to try and fall back of his teammates. ECSTATIC looking good on his CT side then, on his pistol round so far, but now it gets close as hallzerk and Fang deliver. 3v2 for ECSTATIC, but it's going to be retake territory soon. No kit that we can see on these players who stand, but hallzerk will fall, leaving Fang in a 1v3 at P250. It could be crucial, but Queenix delivers another nice headshot. ECSTATIC storm the pistol round then on the CT side.
Yeah, it's a start. You know, still plenty more things that they got to do to get back into this game. But step one complete. Keep an eye on what Complexity's going to do. They did get the bomb plant down on lower, so plenty of money for a force. They want to try to throw one of those in there. It's kind of been the meta. See a lot of Galil forces, see a lot of AK drops, things like that. Little mix buys. And indeed, will be a force pretty limited util.
That's a hell of a force buy though.
Yeah, a lot of contact play going to be happening in this round. Early, already one smoke thrown to front vent and the door blown open with the nade.
Yeah, they've got no flashbang at this point. No flash whatsoever. Big priority on dry engagement.
Yeah, and with Floppy getting down vent, that's going to be a massive, massive boon to the T side. This is where they can keep a round like this simple, but they've got a lot of players on outside, so they can't just contact through ramp and meet up with him. Seems like they are trying to take a duel on this outside player here, and they will find him.
Salazar could be there for help though, but he'll be denied. He'll get Grim at least. That was a nice peek from hallzerk though. Complexity very confident to go for these peaks. Now hallzerk's got that 2 HP on that AK. That's a very useful weapon, and there you'll see the switch. He will be given the Desert Eagle then of JT, and high health JT will take the AK.
You can see Floppy's just been waiting in vent this whole time for the rotation. Fang keeping an eye on Squeaky. Get the reposition back towards lobby side.
Heading towards the 45-second mark. On a map like Nuke, there's still plenty of time. hallzerk fishing for a quick D, but JT will be the one to get it. Then down goes Max. Big problems for ECSTATIC. Nodios may have to go on that rotation as Floppy finally gets what he's been looking for. And what can Queenix do now? Anywhere else he chooses to go, it's going to be a long rotation. He's got to walk to start with to not give the sound cues away. Queenix and Salazar then 2 versus 3.
No kids. Might even just consider the save. You're so far away on the rotation, and exactly that. Like, you're not getting that round. It's the same thing as hallzerk trying to retake through Megaton earlier on. The time will get away for you. The T's can just sit backside vent, decon, windows. There's too many positions to clear. You can't retake lowers when you're that far away on the rotation. It's just not going to happen.
Floppy and hallzerk might want to get their skates on, because they need to run a fair bit to try and stay alive here. But that is a great response from Complexity, who looks strong on either side. Again, a hell of a force buy with those rifles. And they delivered and then some. 13-4. ECSTATIC are going to have to do this the hard way.
Yeah, this will be a force from them. And if this doesn't go well, that's probably just going to be the end of the game. Unfortunately, you know, it wasn't looking good for them. The pistol got us a little bit excited, but Complexity immediately flexing their muscles after getting that bomb plant, going for the full buy. They only had 4 nades. They used them all in the first 10 seconds, and then they got it done the old-fashioned way. The 4 nades got Floppy in vent, and that's what they were looking for. And then the contact on outside, good spacing, good trading. Exactly what they were doing on those CT retakes.
Double nades coming into the A bomb site. No connection made on this occasion. Complexity in a great position now.
You can see they're anticipating aggression. Sitting in lobby. Lobby crunches, very high percent kind of rounds when you have this little util when you're using the pistols. A lot of times, you know, it can be a reactive play to the outside wall of smokes, but you can see Complexity taking their time. Look at the mollies straight in towards ramp.
Posting up on their angles. There's a lot of CT players here though, but who is going to find the first kill here? Crowd says hello. You can see Manx jiggling, showing some shoulder as well as hallzerk starts to move through. 5-7 still very dangerous. That'll force Complexity away, realizing they're walking into a trap. Still got a minute on the clock here. Nodios will have a chance to try something. Now he finds the bomb and a second kill. Trying to find a rifle, and JT's in the clutch. 3 more frags required to not have the same fate that ECSTATIC had in their first half. Trying to give himself some space now. Getting tagged though in the corner. And now the CTs can pick up all the toys that they can find around that bomb.
Yeah, the best case scenario for him was smoking himself off at Queenix and just making his life a little bit harder, unfortunately. Connected a little bit onto Manx. Bit of a span through side of heaven there. Really, I mean, JT, all he's looking for here is damage. Playing the long game, Complexity is so far ahead that every single kill that you get, every single gun you take away from the CT side is going to add up over time and open up that window where you can reset the CT economy, and that just might be the game on a silver platter if you do it at the right time. Regardless though, great response from ECSTATIC, holding on to those 2 rifles instead of throwing them away in towards lower, and then the little stack in towards ramp side. Works a treat. Good patience shown by them. Not aggressing in the early round. That almost certainly would have just played straight into Complexity's slow kind of defaulty play.
Some confidence there from ECSTATIC then to fight their way back into this. But again, the margin for error is getting smaller and smaller. With Complexity just 3 rounds away from the victory. Hero AK for JT. Look at this push though from ECSTATIC, and the numbers are here to trade. Surely they will. 3 kills for the CTs, but 2 AKs for Grim and Floppy. And they've got 1 minute 30 on the clock. You can smoke it off now, but this is surely going to be a nervous situation for ECSTATIC.
Yeah, we'll see what they're going to be going for. And this is the issue when you end up in these XVXs on Nuke. There's so many angles of approach. Complexity, theoretically, with how quick that round started, have got plenty of time. They could wrap Secret in towards lower, but they're just going to play this one by the numbers, sit in radio, wait out the util, and try to take some duels in towards lobby side. Look, a little bit of a high-low. This is cheeky.
Floppy is naked, no Kevlar whatsoever. But if he is going to get shot, probably going to be in the face. Kind of how Pro CS works. Again, cutting noise. It's up to Complexity to try and figure out the angles that ECSTATIC are likely holding.
They're just waiting for ECSTATIC to get worried about the outside wrap.
There is the bomb. And there are 2 CTs. Floppy though, beautiful stuff. Really made it work again. Not easy with no Kevlar to even get that first kill. Got everything from that they could.
So we're JT 2.7. Doesn't have the best of spawns. You'd love to throw him a Mac 10 or something, but Complexity going to put together a buy, no issues at all anyway. Going to be a little bit limited on util. I was surprised that the CTs went for a lobby crunch anti-eco there. That can work out pretty horrifically if you hit the wrong timing and run into a pistol at close range, but crisis averted.
Fast one into the A-bomb site. It looks like everybody's blind, but look at the frags for ECSTATIC. Only 2 players remain for Complexity. Almost one, but hallzerk is still standing for now, trying to rescue the bomb if he can. And he will.
JT trying to activate in the mid-round through outside here. You can see ECSTATIC. Crowns, I think, heard that in the backside of warehouse, so they're well aware of what's going on here.
That is half the information. Nice luxury to have for ECSTATIC. Swinging around, Crown has found JT. What a hallzerk then. Man's got so much clutch in him. 1 versus 4. Again, he can, at worst case, still make it pricey for ECSTATIC, a situation they would rather avoid.
Yeah, this is the round where they do need to stabilize their economy. Realistically, I mean, Cold's only got 13 rounds. It's not like even if there wasn't a reset here, that ECSTATIC would find themselves in a situation where they wouldn't be able to recover from that. But especially in a round like this, you just completed that anti-eco pretty well, and now you're going to survive with 4 players up. They're going to be quite happy that they've been able to steady their economy, and that is going to make this realistically a situation where they can actually start to make a bit of a comeback into this game. Like I said, it was going to be difficult, especially after they lost the second round force. You don't see the CT economy really recover from that too often.
Yeah, this is an interesting pursuit from Nodios, who loses his gun. He's got $1,200 in the bank. What do you think of that?
I don't think that's worse, but at the same time, it's like hallzerk holding onto an AK and armor in towards the next round could definitely take a few guns away. Either way, he's going to get both. But like I said, the CT money is so fragile this early on in the game that Like, throwing away the 4th gun is not the worst thing in the world. If you're going below 3, that's where it starts to get a little bit dicey, but still, it's a bit unnecessary, especially in this kind of position.
Now, bite-sized meals.
Yep.
Head towards 13 a bit later on. Complexity looking for opportunities. The double nades again. We saw them miss the first time, but on this occasion, they've got great opportunities on this A-bomb site. Crown's got a spray down, though. The garden hose is out. That leaves JT and Fang remaining with the Glocks.
Yeah, and they can't really get close enough to put their hands on these rifles, unfortunately. Fang's kind of looking for a timing on outside, though, and with how low Crown is, that's, you know, realistically something he could maybe put together at some point. Might even be trying to swindle his way into ladder base here, perhaps.
Surely they try and find Crown here.
There you go. He straight through the smoke. Uh-oh. With Glocks, James?
2v2. Fang's going to be crucial now. JT's the one who's been showing the presence, but Salazar's taking nothing for granted. CTs have helmets as well, which will be very important. 45 seconds. This will feel like eons for ECSTATIC to hold. There is Manx now. Not so much Fang can do. Really trying to squeeze every drop. Landed 1 headshot at the very least, but won't be able to land another. ECSTATIC will survive with 2.
Got a couple of people already turning out for this first best of 1. Preparing perhaps for some of the Aussie boys to play pretty soon. That's pretty exciting. Got both Greyhound and Vertex playing some best of 1, so plenty of opportunity for some excitement or some tears. I'm anticipating probably a little bit of both.
Do you cry a lot?
Yeah, look, it's okay to cry, you know.
It's a brave new
Sometimes
world.
you just got to let it out, you know.
5 rounds for ECSTATIC to try and recover. That last one was expensive, but it could have been lost without that spray down. Let's focus on the next round. 1 at a time. Yeah. Minute 30 for Complexity. See what kind of pace they offer in this round.
Pretty slow one. Working outside. Waiting for maybe some initial utility from the CTs, seeing if anyone slipped through on towards that T-red position, and after not a whole lot happening, you're going to get the deeper L smokes in towards outside, molling into secret. A lot of spam damage onto Crown, who was trying to slip into the corner of the smoke. Well done from Complexity to find that pick.
Yeah, you're not getting that for free versus Complexity. He's had his pie hole absolutely stuffed. 1 minute on the clock then for the 5 of Complexity. Oh, the timing for Salazar, that's not comfortable, is it?
Fang's got space now. They're going to contact into lobby instead here.
Can see Manx coming in from the ramp as well, but Floppy, does he have a good enough angle? Look at that snap from Floppy. It's not ready for Manx though. Great instant trade from him. 3-on-3 will still be to Complexity's advantage. But with these frags, ECSTATIC will find some information. Fang trying to clear the spawn. Plenty of footsteps to be heard now as Manx heads towards that B bomb site. Salazar caught, and is Manx as well. Suddenly it's Nodios versus the world.
I mean, those are exactly the kind of trades that were winning Complexity's game on the CT retakes. They're just so snappy. We're watching it from ECSTATIC's POV. And as soon as he peeks someone, you just get deleted. It feels like a favorable engagement for him to take coming up from Megaton there. You know, you anticipate him to get 2, but Grim just instantly deletes him. It's got to be a bit demoralizing to play against.
What is the play here for Nodios? A late ninja? Probably not. Hiding in plain sight?
I mean, looking at their money, they need this extra rifle. This is the difference between having 4 M4s and 3 in the next round. But this was the reset potential that Complexity have been looking for, right? Like ECSTATIC, it's been good to see them trying to make inroads in towards this game. But...
That's why he's hanging around, loitering
They're still a little
B.
bit too broke, though, you know? 3.5 is not going to cut it.
Hey, an AWP is often enough. Sometimes it's all you need on the CT side. But will that be the case this time? 14 rounds to the 8 that ECSTATIC have. Again, that margin gets smaller and smaller as Complexity creep towards a potential victory here.
Yeah, they're taking attack timeout because they recognize that this is the game on a silver platter. The CT money is absolutely broken at this point. They convert this round, and especially with the saved rifle, you're really expecting the CT team to force up here. don't know that they're necessarily going to be aware of the AWP, so we'll keep an eye on that, what kind of utility that they're using, how dry they're peeking, whether you're going to get any shoulders or anything like that. Complexity playing super well across the board, though. They're all within 2 kills of each other, and we're, what, 22, 23 rounds deep into this game. That's not super common most of the time.
Always nice when everybody turns up. Of course, not easy to do on the CT side, especially depending on the position you play. Here is an AWP from Salazar, a 4-4 surrounded. Quite a reasonable one as well. MP9s are always good.
This is cheeky. Little boost up into the top of the boxes can make this MP9 look a little bit more menacing. You can see Complexity, similar to what you saw earlier on when they're anticipating the CT force. Very slow play. JT searching for outside on lobby. The rest of the boys sitting in radio.
I like the setup here with Crown holding a more direct angle on Secret. Mank starts to slip away now. Salazar, this would be a disaster if he died. 4 HP. So awkward now, but Mank and Crown will deliver elsewhere. Complexity in control of ramp, maybe with an opportunity to head towards heaven as well. That would make things really awkward. Heading towards 40 seconds on the clock for Complexity to make their play. 3v4. That can change very quickly indeed. Floppy heading towards JT now in that main position, but again, it is hallzerk who's made his way up towards heaven, playing off the distraction, but Nodios and Queenix are ready for it. There's the trade from Queenix as well. Salazar survives with the AWP just about, and an AK will be collected.
How did they pick up that round? That was like the anti-timing. You could see just how fidgety ECSTATIC were in the early to mid round there. They had a setup, they boosted Manx up, they posted Salazar up on elbow side, little crossfire on outside. And then in the mid round, they start shifting things around, and Salazar almost gets caught with his pants down, but they still somehow managed to come away with that round. That was a cute little double sight setup, especially later on into the round. You're not going to be clearing that with a molly.
Surviving by the skin of their teeth. You can see the angles for Queenix and Fang. That should be a nice HE grenade. Goes a little too far on this occasion. Queenix will reposition. Have to be careful about where he stands around those boxes. So much wallbanging we've seen in these rounds.
Complexity just waiting out that initial utility. Grim's only got a Mach 10 to work with. A little bit lighter in terms of the punching power of this buy. Mostly Khalil's. hallzerk going to be the main man with the Krieg, probably put in towards the clutch position. Looks like it's going to be a smoke. Wall of smoke on outside thrown by JT. They may look to try to push and pull the CT rotations and then try to find a timing into upper, but that's actually a little misthrown. Both of the smokes hit the same spot, so you can see Salazar is still on the outside angle, has full information that there's no one out there, so there's going to be no change in rotation for the CTs.
Complexity with bad intentions towards this A-bomb site. Smokes are dropped, but the first play goes the way of Complexity. Queenix dropped by Fang. And there is the bomb in the middle of the A-bomb site now. That means full commitment from Complexity. Space being made as the trades come through for the T side, but there's that smoke paying off later on. That was dropped earlier, forcing the hand of Complexity through the smoke, and suddenly we have ECSTATIC on 10 rounds, just 4 behind Complexity.
Yeah, that wall of smoke not connecting on outside made a pretty big difference that round. You could see Complexity were trying to hit that uppers timing after throwing outside smokes, and they just ran into a brick wall. 3 CTs there, and then Salazar coming in on the rotation from ladder base locks it down. Double digits for ECSTATIC, a chance to build up their cash. Their money is still so shaky, so they have to complete this anti-eco without dropping too many guns, but Complexity well aware of that. Look at the investments in the Deegs. They want to make this one expensive for ECSTATIC.
Many of these rounds have been expensive for ECSTATIC as well. Kraghen will see the trajectory of those grenades and know people are close outside. So far, so good. That's the bomb scene as well. That'll be encouraging for them. There's only 2 players remain now for Complexity. Kraghen's got to be careful. Been punished around these smokes before, and he'll be punished again by Fang. Now he's got a rifle. They're only a man down here, Complexity. And again, this is a round where they're just looking to do as much damage as possible. They could win the round at this point.
Even just one more kill and you're sold. with how shaky the CT money is right now. Complexity haven't picked up the bomb yet, though, and with Queenix on silo, this is a bit of a precarious position.
Precarious for all concerned, really.
Sharp.
Burst fire with the MP9. JT has an opportunity, but Manx keeps on moving. And ECSTATIC will survive again. And I think this game has been about survival for ECSTATIC, and they've been able to do that, keep Complexity off match point, and reduce the gap to 3.
Yeah, they haven't looked like the better team in the server for the majority of this game, but it's still nonetheless a winnable game. They're hanging in there. I don't really think they're even playing their A game today, but they're still keeping this one competitive. So you'd say what you want about ECSTATIC. Had a really rough start to the game, and they're slowly starting to get into the swing of things. Complexity now a little bit of a different timeout taken. The last timeout was, we're on the verge of winning this game. We just need to pick up this round, and it's done. And now this timeout is a bit more of a, well, got a bit more work to do. CT money's built up a little bit. You need a couple gun rounds in a row. And of course, this is where hallzerk will bring out the ult.
"20 kills for hallzerk, but 21 for Queenix, but 23 for kraghen. Everybody's turned up to some degree. More standouts, though, on the ECSTATIC side. Salazar will be looking to catch up himself. Fang's got a good angle, though. Got to be careful now. Could be led into a trap here, Salazar. Flashes will be avoided.
Trying to spam him out of the corner. There's the molly. He's got to move. Oh.
Ooh. Manages to escape. In the meantime, we've got big problems on the ramp. Complexity take control again. Minute 20 on the clock. So much time with so much map control. The Salazar's rotated fast. Misses the shot, however. Not quite the strafe cancel he was looking for. Smokes up on control. Salazar there with the AWP. The CTs are smoked off. Complexity needs to get this bomb planted quickly. Hole in the door now as Grim holds an angle, but hallzerk's the one to deliver. Problems compounding for ECSTATIC. They've lost the bomb site and they're losing personnel with no response. 4v2 for Complexity. There's a hunt match point.
Kraghen.
They can't avoid to lose all these guns, but kraghen's got 2 here. Coming in from the ramp, he's found a 3rd as well. Turning it around. Fang's in the clutch, 1 versus 2, and he's on the A bomb site. Will they commit to the bomb defusal here? They've got the kit, and they will. Full send. The flank from kraghen is unreal as he makes 27 frags.
It's massive impact from him. Complexity just not even ready for that wrap through ramp room. That's a huge, huge play, and the trigger discipline not to be able to pick up hallzerk there, especially when things are getting really tight towards the end of this game. That's some star impact right there from that man.
You thought this game was lost after the first half, especially you thought this round was lost as well, but indeed the trigger discipline allows him to pick up the first 2, and sheer skill to collect the 3rd. That's a fantastic comeback again. It has been rough for ECSTATIC, but they continue to survive. Just when you thought it was safe to reach 15. They've got the bomb plant, they have the tools for the job Complexity.
Yeah.
And that's another failure for them.
Which is the case pretty much every round when they're maxing out the loss bonus at this point. hallzerk. They're looking for a bit of ramp contact. Outside wall of smokes with the molly into secret yet again from Complexity. No rotation into lower here for ECSTATIC. I think they're looking to put pressure maybe towards lobby at some point, or picks on outside.
kraghen moving through the smoke. He's got to act fast. There's the bomb. Another multi-frag for kraghen. Queenix as well. Suddenly JT's wondering why no one's on the radio. Didn't even get to mention the Krieg that hallzerk had in that round. Nothing doing as ECSTATIC are growing with power, it seems.
See the investment in that. Complexity just trying to hit the hard timing. He had enough money for the AWP if he wanted it.
They're not going to plant the bomb in this round.
No.
They plant the bomb, they get 4,200. So this might be eco territory for them. He might need to try and save this AK.
Could consider Galil armor. You also got a couple of richer players. kraghen's warming up, man. 30 for him. And it's not just him as well. You're getting a couple of the other boys like Queenix is multi-fragging for ECSTATIC as well. Like some of these individuals for ECSTATIC are just, you know, doing enough by themselves.
This is an awkward spot for Complexity.
Yeah, this is a weird position.
What do you spend if you are to lose the round and ECSTATIC find themselves on 14-14?
I don't mind like an in-between approach, like couple techie armors or Mach 10 armors, and then you put like hero rifles on Fang and hallzerk. That could definitely work out. Give yourself a reasonable shot at winning the round.
I feel like the more you spend, the more you must plant the bomb in this round as a minimum. Does that compel you to send it into the A bomb site or the vent?
I feel like those quicker plays are exactly what ECSTATIC has been shutting down, though. They've had really good protocols and reactive util, and that's what happens when you play, you know, 15 officials or 19 officials on Nuke in the last 3 months, you know? You know how to stop an uppers rush.
The scouts in the hands of hallzerk will suggest a longer round. We've got the smokes for the outside as well.
Go back for the bomb. That'll slow things down a little bit. Seems like Complexity very intentionally waiting out the initial wave of util from the CTs. And then if they throw wall of smokes on the mid-round timing, that's where they're really trying to create a timing a little bit after that. And it's exactly that. Wall of smoke, or one smoke invested on outside. The other boys aren't actually in position to throw theirs. So it's just a singular smoke on outside for the time being. And Complexity potentially looking for a bit of a ramp contact here.
And they've got some flashes. There is the first one. Manx will need to cut them. Oh, the timing. They've got the ramp again, but they've had the ramp, I feel like, in many of these recent rounds, Complexity, and still haven't been able to convert. Yes, some of the rounds have required some individual brilliance from ECSTATIC, but here they are, just one round behind.
Yeah, ECSTATIC are just holding on to the middle of the map and using those vent rotations.
Nodios has control of controllers. The T's start to make their way in. Smokes the rifle, get his reload in. Kraghen will open the door. They'll announce their presence from multiple angles. Queenix disengaging is really smart. Still down to 6 HP already, though. Doors will be closed once again. Grim caught on the reload. Floppy's made his way up, though. Only Floppy and hallzerk remaining. 2v5 with a Tech 9 and a Scout. This would be beyond a miracle. There is a tag. And 4 survive for ECSTATIC. It was always going to go their way at that point. Team kill won't matter so much. 14 apiece.
And their money is stabilized at the perfect position. 14 apiece, and they're going to be able to buy through the last couple of rounds of this half. Complexity with plenty of cash with the plants. Be able to get whatever they want if they want an AWP. But exactly like you mentioned, ECSTATIC seems like they're playing around that ramp room. They're not interested in really holding on to it most of the time. They're just using the vent rotations. And you could see, especially against the low buy, they were quite happy to sit back in decon and control room and play the angles. Keep Complexity locked into the lowest site with a bit of a one-dimensional kind of approach, trying to hold on to the post plant. Much harder for the T's to convert those post plants without any decon or Windows control. hallzerk looking for that annex cross.
That molly's so important to hold him off the angle. I think he may have found something there otherwise. Good detail. Well, it's crunch time, isn't it? It really is. 14 apiece. Who gets the match point first? I can't believe ECSTATIC have made it this far, and credit to them for doing so. So many ugly rounds. But there's more work to be done. Pop flash for Manx, no. But he eats it. It's a little bit too low for him. He's going to have to peek dry, and that's not going to work out. Very, very awkward, and for that to happen at this time as well. Kraghen running out of bullets just as Fang and hallzerk will go into his path, and the dream might be collapsing for ECSTATIC. 5-on-3 for Complexity as they head towards B. Salazar posting up on angles. Can't be missing this time if they are to head in. Still a minute on the clock for Complexity. They'll create some space on the bomb side with the smoke. Great molly as well. Angles being compromised. hallzerk moving in for a bomb plant. They can buy in the next round regardless, more or less, ECSTATIC. So surely they go for this one. That'll make it even harder then. Queenix and Salazar remain versus 5. No easy way into this bomb site. So many guns trained on them. And they'll fall one by one. Very rough round for ECSTATIC.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tilting as well. The flash catching Manx, who was looking for the timing to pop up from Secret. What bloody entries from JT in a critical round like that, though. Just one taps the player on the headshot line in Secret, and then one taps Nodios on the entry in lowers, and then you put hallzerk in a post plant. Safe position like Silo with an AWP. Just play the angles around Megaton. It's an easy lockdown for Complexity. Like you said, though, ECSTATIC, plenty of money to reinvest. Actually missing a couple pieces of utility, though. A couple mollies here and there, and a kit, but nothing to really be too upset about. Wall of smoke across outside again here for Complexity, and JT seeing if he can sneak through Annex on the timing maybe later on into the round.
See if smoke heads that way again. He has had problems dealing with that, trying to poke on either side. He has died on either side. Complexity cut noise, minute 20
They're going
on the
straight
clock.
into the ult.
But will they land some shots? Salazar lost his angle, goes back to the well. You can see hallzerk trying to tag. He knows there's one on the other side. In the meantime, kraghen will stop that wrap from JT. Nodios needs to keep his gun out here. Bunching up now in the lobby are Complexity. 1 minute on the clock. No frag for them just yet. I think they're going to the roof to get some grenades into this A bomb site, but the grenades are coming in very well timed by the likes of ECSTATIC.
They're out of util now though.
But they're not out of guns. See the molly being deployed by hallzerk. Nodios positioned himself, I think, for this to try and avoid it if he could. Can't avoid the gunner floppy though. Very labored push from Complexity. In they go now as the trades here on the A bomb site. kraghen will be traded by hallzerk in the clutch once again. 1v2, has to get his reload in. 25 seconds on the clock. He's got the bomb, but where does he go? One was in heaven. But what is the situation now? Heading towards 15 seconds. Looks like it might have to be this bomb site for him. Not going to get that frag he was looking for. Oh, he's going to go for that late rotation then, but it is going to be quite the gamble.
Got it.
Both CTs up top, and there's plenty of time now, and there's also plenty of cover. He can isolate a fight here. If they both come from the ramp, they may have just seen him. Did they see hallzerk go into decone? Manx and Salazar, they have a kit. Lining up now. Salazar, down he goes. 1v1 versus hallzerk. Manx is going to full commit to this one. And hallzerk will deliver the clutch again. Complexity take the first game of the day.